Introducing National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk programming that you can access 24/7. For the premier sports talk experience, tap into our Roku channel. Start your mornings with Mac and Jack covering all the weekend sports action. Then pour a cup and enjoy all the sports you can drink on the Coffee and Sports podcast. At midday, talk sports from east to west on the Coast to Coast podcast. Followed at night by some hot girl talk with Prim and Proper Sports featuring Sonja Pearson. Talk boxing on the Gloved Fist. Yankee fans tune in for Start Spreading the News. And there's more on the College Sports Huddle and Sports Scope with Robert Butler. There are 20 podcasts in all and 70 weekly shows giving us a 3.4-star viewer rating. To find us on Roku TV, search for National Streaming Sports on the Roku search bar. Click on the logo and you're in. National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk for America.
I'm Mac, CEO of National Streaming Sports Network and the host of the Mac and Jack Sports Show, and you're watching Our Lady of Sports, Sonja Pearson, host of Prim and Proper Sports. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, happy Friday to one and all you guys. I'm your host, Sonja Pearson, host of Prim and Proper Sports. As you see, I have the full panel tonight. This is the fellas. Of course, to my, in no order of appearance, Kevo, Atlanta Falcons, right below me. To the right of him is Jay Train, New Orleans Saints. Right beside me is Brian from the Detroit Lions. And of course, let's see, how do we do it? One A Cheek, Three Toes podcast. And to the right of him is the Ohio State College CFP winner and NYG for Life, Fern. Guys, how are you guys tonight?
Good.
Thank you.
Very good.
So much for joining me. And make sure you all download the Roku app. Follow Northeast Professional Sports. Shout out to Linda and Mac over there, the great hosts that allow me this wonderful platform. Today is Friday. About to say September. It's not actually February. Birthday month. February the 21st, 2025. I'm all over the place today. And so we only have like 1 week left in this nice short month, not even a full week. In fact, it is up on next Wednesday. So officially Pisces season. So the best season has gone. But Fern has a birthday on Sunday. So we want to say happy birthday to him from the cast. You know, he still made the February cut. Happy birthday, Fern.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And with that, speaking of life, unfortunately today, the world lost an icon. The Notorious B.I.G.'s mother, Ms. Valletta Wallace, passed away at the age of 72. She just had a birthday on February 3rd. I was not aware, but apparently she passed away in Pennsylvania in hospice. Of course, an icon in the hip hop and rap community and the music community at large. Of course, her son, Christopher Notorious B.I.G. Wallace, was unfortunately unalived in 1997. And so they are now reunited, but she kept his name alive even as recent as the end of last year. And with Biggie turning 50 or would have been 50 a couple of years ago, Brooklyn did an entire theme for him. And so, of course, she was always front and center whenever her son was being honored. So, of course, a true icon, Ms. Wallace, a philanthropist, and just an amazing woman, unfortunately has lost and transitioned from this life to the next life and gained her wings. Fern, I know you knew her personally. I wanted to allow you a moment to speak about Ms. Valletta Wallace tonight.
Oh, just a wonderful woman, strong Caribbean woman that, you know, loved her son, loved her community, you know, loved everything about, you know, the culture. It's just, you know, it's such as life, right? She lived a very long life, endured a lot, you know, especially with her son passing very early. She was just a very strong woman, and the strength that she was able to maintain and hold her family together, even after such a tragic event, was just shows you the true strength of a woman, Sonja. So she showed that, and as an example to everybody, you know, whether you're from New York or anywhere, you know, as a woman that had what she had to endure, her strength showed at the time when she needed it the most. So rest in peace. Rest in heaven.
Definitely rest in peace. And so we wanted to begin the show tonight with honoring her and the life she lived and all of those impacted. Of course, tributes pouring in all across social media from different celebrities and music alike. Not too far removed that we lost Irv Gotti, not even 3 weeks ago. So once again, the hip hop community in New York is trying to come together to solidify some sort of support. So rest in peace, Ms. Valletta Wallace. Life well lived. All right, guys, we got a lot of football talk tonight. This is going to be more football oriented to our audience. We will be gearing towards hockey pretty soon. J-Train and I were on a platform Sunday with Mac, and we talked about how there's just been a lack of interest with the NBA as well as NFL now being gone, that the interest is, turning to hockey. And I've seen some, United States matchups myself. And of course, we're the center of being booed right now, unfortunately, by the Canadian rivals, even when our national anthem is being played. So we'll put a pin in that. Even though I do want to ask Brian right quick, because you're up there not far from Canada. In fact, you're right across the bridge from the Canadian border. What's the sentiment in Detroit about, all of that hoopla, as they say, with hockey in the United States?
Well, you have a lot of sympathizers here for Canada. Detroit's a Democratic, city anyway, so it's going to be, you're going to have that. We have a close tie with Canada at being Detroit as a city, so you're going to get that sympathy. And I don't blame, I don't blame them when they booed. And I heard that when they played last night, they got the Americans booed the Canadian one. I'm like, that's typical. And I was like, a bunch of brainwashed people. But anyway, the point of the matter is Canada had a right to boo, especially when you got your neighbor saying, oh, we're going to make you our state.
Yeah. It's pretty hard, and as much as we try to keep it mostly sports, sometimes sports does pull over political. The guys and I were talking about greatest players this week that, actually were shortchanged, and Earl Thomas was on that list. Talk about politics and football and whatnot. Fern, J-Train, Kevo, why don't you guys, I'm going to give you guys a platform to kind of start discussing some of these players that you came up with from a list.
Let's hear it, J-Train.
You can go first.
Well, I wasn't very familiar with I wasn't very familiar with the list, but I'll give you my list of players, I guess, that didn't get, the due credit that they deserved. I mean, Earl Thomas, you said, was one of them. Mm-hmm. We can go on and on. I think a lot of and I hope somebody will help me out with this. A lot of times players that don't get their due respect are players that were on underwhelming situations, with the teams. I'm sure the gentleman here, that's the Detroit Lions fan, he had his share of players that were great, but the Lions just weren't good for a very long time, and now they're starting to come out. You can go down that list. We can make a list. We can talk about all the players that didn't get the due shine that they deserve, but a lot of that plays into the situation that they're put in. You put a great player or a player of talent in a bad situation, they're not going to get as much due respect. A lot of things they're going to more so focus, especially the fan base, any type of, committee that's, going to reward them with either Hall of Fame credit or anything to that effect. They're not going to get that shine because they were in a bad situation. They suffered from probably injury, from problems in situations on the field, offensive line, defensive line. So, I'm interested in listening and hearing what the list that the fellas came up with, and that's probably why I said J-Train first.
Well, I actually, while you were doing that, and hello to you, Yoli. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm going to interject because I'm going to give some guidance because I don't want anybody to feel like, I'm a teacher calling people out. But we talk, so for those people who don't know, we're in a group chat, and this thing is 24/7. I mean, I feel so honored, first of all, to be included in these guys, because these guys are all friends before me, and I was connected with them through Fern, which, by the way, y'all, Fern and I are related.
Yep, we are.
World.
We are.
This is why I love New York, okay? So for all y'all people that say I don't love New York, okay, I'm New Yorker, because my grandfather, both of my grandfathers were originally from New York, and I found out my mom's birth mom was really a New Yorker, and y'all know life comes from the guys. So both of my grandfathers were New Yorkers, so it's only right for me to be a New Yorker. So whatever people out there that have thought that I might have a small less than Southern personality, but anyway, we are in this group chat. And because Kevin is a nurse, we salute him for his service, to our community and our healthcare. He's a nurse and he works at night. So Kevin be sending us random stuff, but see, I be up at 3:00 most of the time. So to me, today the joke was J Train put in the comments, "Oh, Sonja is a late sleeper because she hasn't responded." And I'm like, yeah, you know me well, because I'm asleep. And once I get up, then I'm trying to catch up, but it's so much that has gone on. And so this list of players, I literally was scrolling back while we were talking, because I'm like, where the heck is that list? I know I saw it. I got it, and I got a screenshot. So note to self, whenever we talk about real pointed stuff, I'm going to have to make sure I screenshot it going forward. So these are the players that you guys came up with. Well, you came up with, Fern. It was Jonathan Hankins, Michael Thomas, Elliott, AJ Hawk, Chase Young, Malcolm Jenkins, Cam Hayward, Malik Hooker, and Von Bell.
All underrated players that didn't get their credit that they do.
We know what that list means.
Yeah, I know what it is too. I know exactly what it is.
That was not my intention. It just happened to fall that way. Even though they're all Ohio State players, that wasn't the intention.
Wait just a second. There's something familiar about this list.
Well, like I said, though, all of those players never got the respect that they were due. Malik Hooker was one of them. Ezekiel Elliott, who kind of fell off the wagon after getting paid a big amount of money.
Fern, we love you, but this is where we're going to stop it, because once I realized this is going to be the first, you know what, Fern, you're going to have to schedule to come on when it's just you and I, and you can talk about all your players, because
I can go on and on.
I haven't even heard from Kevin yet. So let's plug in. Wait, J Train, like you got something to say.
Yeah, since he did, we did kind of mention the top 5. I think I remember Fern also offering like our teams in our team's history, our top 5 greatest players.
Yeah.
Now I did write a list for mine. I don't know if everybody did that.
Did you put it on the text message? Because I don't see it.
He did. It was in the midst of talking. It was just kind of like, I think, right around when he was talking about all his Ohio State players, I think he mentioned also, didn't you, Fern?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great players in our team's history.
So first of all, let me go ahead and attack you right now, J Train. You started off wrong. Ted Ginn Jr., he's not y'all's. He was a Panther first. How dare you put Ted Ginn Jr. with the Saints? I'm looking at the text, bro.
Well, yeah, everybody has. Drew Brees was a Charger first, but then
no one remembers that.
It happened.
And you know what,
I do.
Fern, thank you for trying to clean it up, because I see in the chat right now that the first thing Fern said was Ted Ginn was a beast no matter where he went. So he tried to fix it. I clearly missed that. I clearly didn't realize that. Wow.
You see the kind of person J Train is.
Yeah,
he's showing you.
Yep, Brian, you hear this, right? You hear Brian, we gotta add you
so what is the criteria for these players, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, that Ted Ginn is not my greatest. If we talk about top 5 greatest in the team, I only mentioned Ted Ginn about being a really good player for the Saints, but he's not top 5. I got a list of top 5 greatest Saints, and he's not one.
Guys who didn't get the recognition they deserve, but were very good players in the league.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? How about we all name one player from our organization, past or present? That could be a fair assessment. That'll give us all a fair chance. Kevin, I'll start with you because I haven't heard much from you. And
Mhm.
hold on, let me take my antacid before you talk about the Falcons.
Okay.
Give
But
one
a
second.
guy that a lot of Falcons fans later in his career started to like really criticize. I think Desmond Trufant. I think he was a solid cornerback
Yeah.
for a
That's
long
actually
time.
yeah.
He was a
okay.
solid corner for a long time, but because people never really threw his way. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have the interceptions at the end because people didn't throw his way. But I always thought he was a solid cornerback, and we always had, we would always lack that second corner because he was just so solid on that other end. And our pass defense wasn't good because, like I said, people wouldn't throw his way, but they would throw the other corner's way, and the other corner would be getting ate up. Be like, oh man, look at our cornerback. Our cornerbacks are bad, but Desmond Trufant was always solid for the Falcons. For me, I mean, I always appreciated it.
And you speaking about, getting ate up, especially against the Panthers. We told them up, so
I feel you. What happened to that 15-1 season? You know where that one came from, right?
Yeah, a broke clock is right twice.
With Julio.
And then you know what? The 15-1, and then the next season, y'all thought y'all were going to the Super Bowl and had a thermostat for a score, 28-3, to come all the way back from freezing to boiling and beat yourself. So we'll take
we both got zero Super Bowls. So it is.
Speaking of, real quick, the NFC East is the only division that every team in that division has a ring. Shout out to the Commanders, Giants, Cowboys, my bad, and the Eagles. I think New York leads that division, right, Fern, with rings?
No, unfortunately, the Cowgirls.
I'm being funny.
About one.
Everybody know they got 25 rings in Dallas. That's why they ain't had one in 30 years.
They got one.
Yeah, whether made up or real. Yeah.
Exactly, Brian. Exactly.
All right. So, Brian, who's the one player from the Detroit Lions?
I'm gonna go back a ways on this one, but Mel Gray, who was our kick returner back in '89-'94.
Wow.
He was there before Devin Hester was, a star, or Deion Sanders is a star. Really,
and he was in New Orleans once.
Yeah, he got traded there, or I think he went there in free agency. But he led the NFL in kickoff returns for touchdowns and return average for 28.4 and 91. A lot of people talk about Hester, and rightly so, Deion Sanders and some of the great return men, but you really don't hear too much about Mel Gray. And to tell you the truth, Lions, you can't say too many people underrated here. They were just garbage, basically. But whatever the case, in fact, I was looking at this. As you guys were talking, I was looking at this article saying that Kelvin Johnson was underrated. I said, get out of here.
What?
He was the most great. Him, Barry Sanders, and Matthew Stafford, probably the best players that this team has.
Yeah.
Herman Moore. Yeah.
Herman Moore. Yep. Yeah, we don't have any underrated. We just have garbage players. I can name you a whole bunch of those.
Jay Train, I'll go to you. Most underrated player?
Marcus Colston. I would say Marcus Colston. All the years he's been there with Drew Brees, they got the top record as far as like for them quarterback to receiver touchdowns. Never made a Pro Bowl. Never once made a Pro Bowl. And it's a shame, a travesty. The dude's had a couple 1,000-yard seasons. He's got 10,000 yards, and never made a Pro Bowl. But I mean, he's one of the players implemented and getting the Saints their Super Bowl. That one lone Super Bowl they got. But yeah, definitely Mark, and a 7th round draft pick too out of Hofstra, who no longer has a football team. Believe it or not.
What's up? Hello, Samantha.
Yeah, that's my sis.
Hi, beautiful.
Oh, hey.
Joining us, Samantha.
Hey.
Shout out to Sam.
You got a great brother, Samantha. He's an amazing person, and I'm grateful that I get a chance to hang out with him as an adopted sister. Thank you for joining us tonight.
And Sam, just know she's great too as well. I mean, I'm grateful to have her allow me to be on her show. and be a part of this great thing that we're trying to build here.
Yes, thank you. And so you guys, let me just put a pause right there. You guys do know this is our show, right? Like, I only have my show on Wednesdays. This is our show. How many times I'll be like, look, if y'all not available, we just gonna run a re-air. I don't come on here on Fridays and be like, I don't have not nary, as they say, not nary one of y'all. Absolutely not. So Sam, the pleasure is definitely all mine. But thank you, J Train. You're always so humble. All right, Fern, who's your joint? Who's your New Yorker?
Justin Tuck. I mean, he was never, I wouldn't say too much underrated in New York. He was amazing. He spearheaded that violent defense we had when we went against the Patriots and beat them twice. I just don't think he's mentioned enough and gets enough credit for what he did. Michael Strahan, of course, is going to be one of the greats, getting the sack record. Justin Tuck just wasn't mentioned enough. I think he's one of the guys that just was very underrated, not known, but he was the diamond in the rough for us, when it came to, winning when it mattered. So I would say Justin Tuck.
All right, so y'all know I got one. Most of the time I don't say much to y'all. I just let y'all hear it. But I actually got one, and as soon as I saw the name, I'm like, absolutely. I'm gonna say Muhsin Muhammad.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yes,
I knew it.
I knew.
Yeah.
Out of all the names, the reason being he was wide receiver from 96 to 2004, and then again from 2008 to 2009. And we called him Moose, but he had remarkable numbers in 2004 and got an all-do acclaim for it, earning the All-Pro status after catching 93 passes for 1,405 yards and 16 touchdowns. But beyond that season, he was often viewed just as another receiver. His numbers definitely said otherwise, and he retired right after the 2009 season. Matter of fact, I met him. He's super cool. I have a picture with him and everything. I wish I had thought about it. I could have just popped it up real quick so y'all could have been like, haters. Not y'all, but everybody else. But he ranked 17th in NFL history with 860 career receptions, and he ranks 24th of all time with 11,438 receiving yards. His 85-yard touchdown in our first Super Bowl appearance remains the longest reception in the history of the game. He was huge in 2004. He also enjoyed 2 other seasons with 90-plus catches and 1,100-plus yards, and he led the NFC in receptions in 1999 and 2000, but he amassed such impressive, often overlooked career numbers through his consistency. He caught at least 50 passes in each of his final 9 seasons with the Panthers. Shout out to you, Muhsin. And if I remember correctly, he does follow our Instagram page. So if you're watching, hello, greetings, and all that good stuff. And we salute you. You definitely were one of the most, if not the only, underrated Panthers. So, all right, guys. So moving along to our next segment. Let's talk what's going on now. J Train, you got some good news going on in the New Orleans camp. Got some new hires down there. I see Fern found a couple of memes about that. Tell us what's going on in Saintsville.
Yeah, well, New Orleans hadn't had a lot to really talk about this past season, besides being near the bottom of the NFC South. But got rid of a couple of bad seeds, and Dennis Allen and some defensive coordinator too. But got a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator now in Kellen Moore, and that you can't deny it. I mean, shake your head all you want, my man. They won the Super Bowl.
You got so much cap issues right now. Your team is the worst team with the cap. You ain't gonna win nothing in your first year, bro. Before you dude, you gotta have players to play. You ain't got no players on that team.
But don't
right
every year we have cap issues.
I love it.
Every year we have cap issues. I mean,
Well, that should help out with the
and we
cap.
get out of them.
$60 million minus
But
cap.
we were 72 million before that, and we get out of them.
The cap,
We
the
get out
cap
of it.
is another $53 million this year. So that should help them a little bit. There was some extra
Yes,
money going out
they
there.
got help.
And
Look,
Saints hired defensive coordinator Brandon Staley, Chargers former head coach. So that's going to be
absolutely.
super expensive, expensive and advantageous for the Saints as well. J Train, Brian went 9 Mile Road on you. So
Let me say, hold on. I mean, how many years?
Okay, hold on, Sonya.
No, hold on. Let me
9 Mile
say.
Road.
Welcome to the family, Brian. Welcome to the family.
Brian, before you go any further, man, how many years has it been since you got to the NFC Championship with Detroit?
Now
That's regardless.
I love it, Brian.
No,
Welcome to the family, Brian.
Come on. In between,
Come on, Brian.
what's going on in between that? What's going on in between that?
See, you sound like Green Bay Packer fans. They get mad because you dominate the division, and then they
But you talk about
no Super Bowls.
here we go.
Dude, I don't give a damn about 10 years ago. I give a damn about now.
Pardon me 1 second. Pardon me 1 second.
I love it.
Hold on. This just in. Brian has just became a member of Friday with the
Welcome, Brian. Welcome, Brian.
Oh my God. Brian just made a 30-year anniversary. I mean, one in 91. And I mean, come on, man.
What's the point? I mean, I'm just giving you facts. I'm not saying New Orleans is not. I'm giving you facts.
That's right. Let them know. We are making moves, sir. Just because y'all finally making moves, y'all knocking the dust off of whatever it is y'all had going on in 40. I mean, come on, man.
I love it, Brian.
I'm just saying every franchise goes besides the Lions. I know we've been a crap franchise for a long time. Those things you can't hide. We're better than Cleveland, though. But anyway, every franchise goes through their bad times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They do.
And I'm just being factual. This is not a very good time for New Orleans. And it's good that
we understand that.
So
that's the first thing I
say. I'm not trying to be off-putting about it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just stating somebody knows in the air. But they ain't really come down. I don't think they came down to Washington and put them down. For like.
I'm just saying that you don't treat Kellen Moore as the second coming of Jesus because he's not. I'm just saying he's not going to be able to do it with the team he has in hand. I
didn't say that, but I like to see how the Lions do without Ben Johnson. Though, talk to me next season. Let's see how we do that.
So,
I'm not worried about Ben Johnson.
You
got Dan Campbell.
You better be. Dan Campbell soup ain't doing nothing but eating soup.
Okay. As you guys see,
kneecaps,
I put the room in an attempt to try to separate some of this. I put Fern down there with Brian because they both are the antagonists.
I see without a doubt. But I don't think he knows. I carry 6 shoes. I'll put it right back.
I'll put myself in the middle. How about that? All right, guys.
Welcome to the family, Brian.
Lord have mercy. I don't even know. I mean, J Train, did you even finish what you were trying to get out?
Not really. But I know what we had now. Now I know how to fire shots back.
He was right. J Train was being nice. Now he's like, okay. Kevin,
like I said, I'm not trying to be bad mouth New Orleans because Dan Campbell came from New Orleans. We got a good head of people that came from New Orleans. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Cap hell.
Kevin,
sorry, J Train.
But we always in cap hell.
Sorry, J Train.
Well, I mean, even with the $53 million, you guys don't think that's going to be advantageous?
We are going to be okay with the cap. There's always fodder in news and the media. The Saints are always pushing stuff down. Kev, you might want to take yourself back from the screen, sir.
He just started now too.
With that, looking like Honey from Cocoa Puffs.
Right, bucking his lips. You might want to pucker your lips.
Kev, what do you think about? What do you think about Kev?
You're gonna be put down here with us, Kev.
I'm fine, Brian.
I mean, here's the thing. We always in cap hell, but Kev team don't never do nothing if they never in cap.
Yes, preach. Now you preaching.
I can
Come
feel
on,
it.
man.
I can feel it.
Everybody
You know?
always talk about the cap, but then nobody. I mean, I'm
I
gonna
see
start
your
putting the cap
frustrations.
in here.
I see where your frustrations is coming from. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Oh,
fine.
they got J Train on the
Yeah,
spotlight.
you know.
I'll do this for now. Okay. So now let me gather
Now
everybody.
she pushed all of us in the corner.
Gathering everybody for just a moment here. Kevin, we're interested in what you have to say
Please.
about your team and whatever is going on with them.
I mean, like I said with the Falcons, I don't think we have that much of a big issue. I think we need a middle linebacker. I think we need a defensive tackle. I think we need probably.
But what have you done so far? Like, what's going on in the fact? Like, we're not talking about what you need. We know you need a lot.
Let's keep it honest here. We were 6-3 at one point. Kirk Cousins just got hurt. He tried to play through an injury. I can't fault a guy for trying to play through an injury. You know what I mean? Trying to live up to his contract. I can't fault a guy. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't know about the injury until after the season.
And the coaches knew about the injury, supposedly.
Yeah, they didn't know about the injury because Kurt was saying, "Oh, I'm good. Just like most quarterbacks is gonna say. You know, quarterback ain't gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I'm not good," and then next thing you know, they know that this young guy is gonna come in and take his job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we all knew that was what was the writing on the wall. If Penix got in there, he wasn't gonna come back out. Let's all be honest here. And Kurt knew that. So that's the reason why he told his coaching staff, "Oh, I'm good. Even though we obviously could see he wasn't good. And, you know, the coaching staff is going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm going to ride for my guy. And you can't sit here and fault the coaching staff for that. You know, but
shout out to y'all's tight end coach, Kevin Koger, for not taking the Saints up on an interview.
Yeah, you know, because he see the writing on the wall out there. You know what I'm saying? We all see the writing on the wall.
I didn't see the writing on the wall. What did y'all finish? What was your record?
What was your record?
Hey, I already said we was bad. But I think some other people are delusional in the house.
The NFC South has consistently been bad, and so nobody can really brag about the South. Let's be clear. Anybody that's at the top is just at the top by default because somebody got to be there.
And we got an honorary NFC South team at the bottom in the blue. Down here.
Here we go. I was quiet. I was quiet.
Giggling and attacking.
J-Train.
Number 3 overall up down here.
I was quiet. I was very quiet. I was just listening and learning.
All right. Well, I always go last, but I'm not going to go last this time. The Panthers re-signed Andy Dalton. People have said why, but don't worry about why. Andy is solid, and we're glad he's back. He brought his whole family in there to make sure, you know, they got a part of the camera action and everything. And we're just looking forward to this combine that's coming up. Looking forward to that. We're looking forward to the subsequent draft. We're drafted in the top 10 again for like the 3rd season in a row. But that's okay, because next season, there won't be any questions about who's running the South. We're going to be back to where we were, back to back. And we're going to be back-to-back NFC South champs until, Kevin, you're my age, until you catch up to my age. So I hope you enjoyed all the mess you taught and all these little screenshots. By the way, this is the perfect time, Kevin. Let's go ahead and make it official. I almost forgot.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's go ahead and make this official. Kevin and I have had a sidebar while J Train and Fern were asleep, but it's still in the chat. So it's been codified and it's been identified and elified and all whatever fied. So it's cemented. Kevin and I have entered into a deal that the Panthers will was it winning the South or just beating y'all?
Or just having a better record than the Falcons.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. So even one game counts, including a tie. So if we have a tie, it's still, but the winner gets $50 and the loser has to wear like if it's me, I have to get a Falcon shirt that I'm gonna make sure I get on Amazon so I can return it. They have to wear a Falcon shirt and they have to say "Rise Up."
I'll send it to you. Don't matter. Kevin,
I got some shirts for you. I got you already.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
He's gonna have to say "Keep pounding," and he's gonna I'm gonna add a caveat to it. Not only you gonna have to say it on the show, you're gonna have to change your profile picture on Facebook for a week.
Oh yeah, you can do
Wearing that outfit with no explanation. Don't
I want Matt Ryan. I want Matt Ryan on your.
Okay, whoever it is. Well, then you gonna put Cam Newton in. You gonna put Cam.
I put Cam on there.
And I'm gonna let you take a picture wearing my Cam jersey too. And you're gonna
with or without the hat.
Without the hat. And the thing is, even if people ask you or comment, you can't like it. You can't say anything to people that's comment. You just have to leave it up for 1 week unsilenced. And then after 1 week, you can take it down.
That's fine. I can do that.
So y'all hear it here first.
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Wow. All you get. Ooh.
I got a question.
NFC South.
I got a question for Brian. What do you think about the NFC North being a new power division? I will say, and I've talked to a few friends of mine. I have friends that are fans of each team, and you have the Bears who are up and coming. They're young. They're getting better. The Lions, Minnesota, who surprisingly shocked everybody last year. Still got JJ McCarthy back there getting ready to start. And you got Green Bay. What is your thoughts on that? That's just my. I've been wanting to ask somebody about.
I felt before the season last year that the NFC North was going to be pretty much set up. Green Bay has been a dominant team in that division because other teams are crap. But then Minnesota came up there. I mean, Minnesota, you got to remember, they're a couple of years removed from being in the playoffs, which, everybody called them a fraud. It was a high record fraud. But, it's nice to see that, the AFC North, as a matter of fact, has been the one getting all the headlines because, they got Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, but they kind of fell off this year too. And their teams aren't as strong as the NFC North. And we had like 3 teams that were over 12 wins. So, I mean, that's great. It's good competition. And Chicago's just, if they get an offensive line, Chicago will be, that'll be terrible. They will be up there. And Minnesota, I think Minnesota and Detroit, to tell you the truth, will probably take a step back because they have to, to what Jay Train was saying earlier, they do have to recover from their offensive coordinators because they're going to run and defensive coordinators because they're going to run different. They're going to, as much as they want to try to stay the same, and Dan Campbell wants to make the plays the same and everything like that. Ben Johnson was a guy that brought some finesse to the offense. So that's going to be missed. I don't know if he's going to be a good head coach, but he was a tremendous offensive coordinator. And the guy that they brought in to replace him was his teacher. And remember, he went to the offense. He was offensive coordinator for the Jets for a while. He wasn't very good at it, but it's always new. So, we got to deal with that. And Green Bay is always there. Like I said, Minnesota. We'll see what happens with their quarterback situation. I think this is the same situation that they had last year. Basically, they got to see if they're going to keep Sam Darnold, or they're going to go with J.J. McCarthy, or they're going to go outside all that realm together. I mean, I heard Stafford was a choice to be traded there. So you never know what's going to happen. Minnesota's always the one that's got the most mystery going into the offseason and coming into the regular season.
Minnesota Miracle.
And they traded up. They traded up to get McCarthy. So I would hope that it would be smart of them to move forward with him, at least give him a shot.
Let me get
we'll see how he is when he comes off his injury, though. I mean, he's going to be a little bit longer because they found something else that they didn't fix during the regular season. They found something else, and so now he's going to have a longer recovery period. So we'll see what happens.
Let me get a chance to say what's up to Bo Crouch, the backdrop you see here, creator extraordinaire, host of Football Talk with Bo, Coast to Coast, another colleague over at Northeast Professional Sports. Bo, thanks for joining us tonight. And
what up, Bo?
Guys, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like Minnesota not bringing back Sam Darnold is going to be pivotal. They kind of, in my mind, were akin to the situation with Atlanta picking up Penix, even though they paid all this money to Kirk Cousins. Kevin, I do want to ask you just for a quick moment, what happens to Kirk Cousins? Even though there's an increase in the salary cap now, are you guys going to be releasing him before March 11th?
I think they are, but I mean, I wouldn't also be surprised if they kept him. I mean, you're gonna have to pay him anyway. So, I mean, what's the point of sitting here letting him walk and then, going to another team? And I mean, he probably not gonna start for no other team anyway. I mean, who we gonna start for?
It doesn't make a difference. That's everybody for the bag anyway. So
I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, as a Panthers fan, I'm a little disturbed tonight that even though we brought Dalton back, there's trade rumors about J.C. Horn, and the reason why I'm disturbed is I'm like, every time we get somebody halfway decent, y'all ready to put them out there on the chopping block to try to get somebody even better. And I'm tired of the rebuild. Like, we've been rebuilding like 7 seasons now. This is ridiculous. If you don't implode your team. If you don't implode your team, you don't have to worry about rebuilding every single season. And we imploded it right after the Super Bowl. Like, literally right after the Super Bowl, everybody was everywhere. Cotchery, everybody, Davis, everybody. And so now
y'all ain't Lions
can't get
fans.
back.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
We've been
yeah,
rebuilding
that's
since 1957.
Sonya, as much as I agree with you, I may have to disagree with you on J.C. Horn because he's been often injured. And I think in a situation like Marshawn Lattimore, it's better to have them in a situation where they can go on and play for somebody else. And you see what happened with Marshawn when he got with Washington. He barely played for them, and then when he did play, he got beat like he was stealing something.
He was cheating.
Be like
I think a lot
don't talk about my guy like that, J Train.
No, Marshawn's great. He's the best cornerback that Saints ever had, and I'm gonna put that out there. But I'm just saying, when you know the writing's on the wall, you got to try to get what you can for a certain player. And we were able to get a third and a fourth for him, and that we're going to use for this year. And I think if the same situation might happen with J.C. Horn, as a matter of fact, he's younger, so he may get capital like a second round or even a late round first or something like that.
We've seen the same thing with Brian Burns. We waited too late to let him go to the Giants, and the Rams were
I love Burns.
First picks last year. And
I love Burns.
And I don't even know, if he really like advanced the Giants in any way or not. I really couldn't tell.
It's gonna take some time. I mean, we got to get that defense set.
Didn't you guys lead the league in sacks? The Giants?
We did for up to 6 weeks.
That was the impact he had.
That was the impact he had. He freed up a lot. Mm-hmm. Dexter Lawrence led the league in sacks. If the Giants can make the right decisions in the draft right now, I would say, and I know everybody wants a quarterback, but Abdul Carter is going to be there, right? If we can make the right decisions, get a quarterback, a bridge quarterback, whatever you want to call it, you trade for Stafford. Justin Fields is not going to be a bridge. He wants a contract. That's different. If we can make the right decisions, I think we can actually build one of the best defenses in the league if we make the right decisions. And me personally, I'm kind of straying far and far away from drafting Cam Ward or Shador in that first round. I know I talk with Kev a lot about it. I talk with J Train. You got to make the right decisions. The Giants are smart. They would look at what we need versus what we want, right? And we do need a quarterback, but we are wanting a quarterback right now. We can get a bridge quarterback, but we got to spend the money. We got to build our team pretty much from the ground up. We got a lot of great pieces on that team, and I'll hop on and on about my Giants, so stop me when you can. But I mean, Tyler Nubin, Dexter Lawrence, on that defense, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, who is kind of shaky, but I think he's going to come alive. You're going to add another edge, which is okay. Isaiah Simmons in that scheme. The offenses was struggling, but if you can get a guy like Abdul Carter and add him to that already stifling defense, man, we can change that around. I blame Daniel Jones for where we are right now, and I blame them for signing him, even though Schoen was smart and only guaranteed him 2 years. So after next year, we're going to have a lot of cap space, but giving him that opportunity and signing him opposed to giving the other guy the money, and you all know who the other guy is. So
well, you guys, I will say this, Vernon, and I will say, and first of all, shout out to Pink Fan Fur. Pink, thank you so much for the reels, the promo. She's the contact person, the lady behind all the decor you see as far as my advertisements. And I think she's working this evening, but shout out to her. You guys check her out. She's blogging now off of this platform as well. Just look up Pink Fan Fur. And the rumor is, though, I had a chance to sit down. I don't know if y'all caught the interview with Mike Patton He's touring the AFC South is his podcast, and he's from Tennessee himself. Devout. He covers the Titans in some of his writings. He's offsides as well with them. And so it's interesting to see his perspective was that Shador came and met with the Titans and in fact FaceTimed his dad so that his dad could be there as well during the meetings with the Titans. And they're actually expecting him to possibly go to Tennessee, even though I really can't see it. It looks like that might be what happens.
I don't think his dad is going to let that happen. You know, I think his dad wants Shador to go to a bigger market. New York is probably going to be that bigger market for him. I'm just not sure if the Giants are going to draft in emotions and what his dad wants versus what we need. Shador is going to be a kind of up in the air quarterback for me. Me and Kev talk about this all the time, and Kev agreed with me. He said, "Man, why not just draft Abdul Carter, man, and get a quarterback, get a guy like Jameis Winston, who I would say more so a Justin Fields or Matthew Stafford. You know, the Rams are kind of shooting around. They want a first round. You're not going to get a first round pick for a 36-year or 37-year-old quarterback. It's not going to happen. But, get a guy that can, Stafford, in my opinion, Stafford and Justin Fields are going to be that guy, right? And then you draft and get other skill positions. I just don't know if Shador is going to solve all of our problems. I don't want to. The Giants, we're bitter right now. We've dealt with Daniel Jones for over 5 years, and we are like the better X right now. We're being very, very picky, but we're acting out of emotion. We're kind of like the rebound, kind of in a sense, like we're vulnerable, and don't be vulnerable to Shador and Cam Ward. And when you can, there's more out there, and I see you, Brian. I would love to hear what your opinion is on it. I know I took the Kev.
Before we go that right, let me also say hello to you, Will. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. Right after you talk about that, Brian, we're almost at the top of the hour. This time goes by so fast. Brian, you can respond to that. Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize J Train was back. There he is. My bad, bro. I hope you wasn't back there long.
No, not at all. Sorry, I had a bit of an emergency. Sorry.
No worries. Everything all right?
Yeah, we're good.
Is everybody alive? That's all.
Yes.
Okay.
About to burn everybody down in the house.
Okay. All right. Brian, since Fern has now co-hosted officially by directing questions at different people. Y'all are buddies now. He gonna be like, yeah, let me get that dude Brian's number B.
So you want to get Abdul Carter? You want another defensive end on your line?
I do. I know that's a lot of edge rushes. I would love another defensive end. I would.
The way your defensive line played last season, I wouldn't even add to that. I would add to your secondary. Your secondary needs to improve greatly. Sure. And I think, and I know you're a Ohio State guy, but Michigan cornerback Johnson is your
Will Johnson, yeah.
I'm so sorry. So clearly I was wrong, Fern. And J Train was right. He tried to tell you.
You're a Michigan guy, Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, that changes everything, man. That changes everything, bro. That changes everything. I'm sorry.
I forgot.
It's okay. I'm gonna warn everybody. Anybody gonna like everybody I like, so we all family. Don't make a difference.
I set it up. I really didn't. I could have sworn that he said Ohio State, but now I'm so sorry. Let me just go ahead and put it out there. Sorry.
No, because I read his profile when you had put it up there, and I saw Ohio State.
Yeah, but he thought I had.
That's why I said. That's why I said I know he won't like it, but Will Johnson would be a good corner for him.
Will Johnson would be a great addition. Drafting him in the first round, though, I don't know.
Well, A-Train, you guys are missing Xavier McKinney, man. That's a big loss, and he played.
Tyler Nubin is going to be the guy that makes up for that. Tyler Nubin played great. He was a rookie. He's gonna take Xavier McKinney's position. Now, I will say this, Xavier, that was a bad move by letting him walk, not trading him or not paying him the money that he needed. And Xavier McKinney went to Green Bay and balled out. Wasn't he like the leader in
interceptions?
Interceptions in Green Bay.
No. Yeah, Green Bay. Kirby was the interception leader.
Yeah, Kirby was the
that twisted. Better safety than Xavier this year. I'm sorry to say, but Xavier did make a difference on the Giants and on Green Bay. Green Bay did play better. And what happened with Green Bay is they played their rookie safety back there too, and it helped him out a lot as well because he balled out too. So, yeah, Xavier McKinney was a bad loss. I think that and the Saquon Barkley thing, that was just fumbling for you Giants because you guys are on the cusp. You guys are on that cusp.
Oh,
I had a lot of faith in you guys this year. I thought you guys were going to do better than you did.
Let me ask you something, Brian. We keep Saquon this year, and I know Day Trade is going to kick out of this because he's returning it back to me. But Brian, we keep Saquon this year. What does he do for us this year? I mean, really, what type of effect does he have?
And excuse me, real quick, Fern, can you move over just a little bit to the left because when you move, there you go, perfect. The light blocks you out, so we can't see you. The light is just there, like
now it looks like a halo.
It's a halo, man. I'm the second coming. The Giants in Ohio State, baby. We're the second coming. You see the sign?
Nah, that just means the Giants are dead.
Oh.
You know, Jay Trey, you know I love this part of the hour because you know, me and you can just go at it. I love it.
Well, to answer your question,
that's my dude up there. That's my dude.
That's my guy.
Saquon, you don't know what Saquon would have done because you got rid of him. But Saquon was your offense.
It was.
So it would have made your offense a whole lot better. You probably wouldn't be. What was your record this year?
3 we only won 3 games. We won 3 games.
You would have won more. You would have definitely won more 3 games with Saquon.
We would have won 5 with Saquon before he got hurt.
I think you would have won 6 with Saquon.
So what is 6? 6 knocks us down to maybe picking around 9 or 10, and we're still having a losing season.
Well, you know, I have a Giants friend too. He's on one of my other networks I co-host with, and he was hoping they would go over 17.
I was
so
hoping,
he get a quarterback.
So
He's one that wants Shedeur or Cam Ward. He wants either one of those two quarterbacks. He don't care about nothing else. He said tank for the quarterback. That's what he says. So
we need a quarterback. We're like I said, we're bitter after the breakup. We want a quarterback, but I don't want us to make the wrong decision and pick.
I know we're not trying not to make this a Giants, and I just got one question for A-Train.
It literally has to be condensed because unless y'all want to go past 10 o'clock, we're at 9:50.
Nah, just really quick. Who would you pick out of the 2 quarterbacks, A-Train, for your team? Who would you pick out of those 2? Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward?
If I had to, it'd be Cam Ward.
Wow.
It'd be Cam Ward.
All right. I don't even know. Brian, did I get a chance to ask you who you guys needed or what? I don't even know if I got to you. We got so tied up with New York. I mean, I know we started the show giving a shout out to Ms. Wallace, but golly, for
basically all we need is a defensive end, pretty positive defensive end. I think that's why the Chalks, they're having talks with Garrett. I think they reached out to Crosby, and Hendrickson's out there on the market too. So, I mean, we need an impactful defensive end.
Hey, James Pierce out of Tennessee.
But we pick Will Lowe, though, unless we're going to trade up.
Very important coming up in the next couple of weeks. The Combine is going to definitely give us something to really talk about. Brian, you have to come back. I really meant it when I was like, you can be Friday with the fellas, because it's definitely inspiring to have another host of a show on that, from a different team. We almost got, it would be really cool to have a representative of all the divisions. Right now it's saturated with the South with myself, but I'm just a host. Of course, you got Falcons and Saints, and then you got the NFC East and the NFC North now on here now. So we, if we could just get the West, if we can get somebody from NFC West, I think we'll have all the quadrants covered then. Yay.
Well, at least it's better than, like I said, I had another show that I had just about all the AFC. I was like, I'm sick of the AFC. We talk about, I had a Pittsburgh fan on there, a Buffalo fan, and who was the other fan? 2 Pittsburgh fans and a Buffalo fan.
Yeah. Speaking of that, and I've been on that show, that's off the chain. Speaking of the AFC, the Chiefs have given Travis Kelce a deadline to determine whether or not he's going to remain with the Chiefs or retire. He has until March the 14th because they are sick of hearing him talk about him running off into the afterlife with Taylor Swift and living his best life. And now they're like, you know what? Here's your trade. Here's your deadline to retire, Travis.
Mm.
Let us know by March 14th. But this is my thing. What happens if he doesn't retire? What's going to be the deal if he doesn't say anything? Is he out?
They'll assume he's out. They gave him a
Yeah,
deadline.
they give him a deadline. Yeah, he's Travis Kelce. He's already tiptoeing into retirement right now.
First
and the way he was moving in that Super Bowl, I think it's going to be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean his brother, they have a podcast. His brother and him talked last year because it literally seemed sudden that Jason decided to retire. We never saw it coming, and we definitely didn't see Fletcher Cox coming because normally, you kind of get like a little whiff. But the shocker of all time that I always remember about retirement was Calvin Megatron Johnson. Nobody saw that coming at age 29. He literally just bowed out between him and Marshawn Lynch, who even though he had a stomach
I think
issue,
Barry Sanders was one of those ones that
Barry Sanders would have been,
yeah.
I was waiting for J-Train to say that.
Yeah, I was
the biggest one, Andrew Luck.
Yeah, in our modern
Andrew Luck. Yeah.
Yes, in our modern time, like that but definitely Barry Sanders was a shocker. That's probably the shocker of all time. If you talk about of all time, but in our modern age, I just remember
Luke Kuechly. Yeah, Luke Kuechly.
But Luke, to me, I'm gonna be honest, as a Panthers fan, we were shocked but not stunned because a lot of stuff was happening in Carolina. Ron Rivera had been fired. Luke had been concussed back-to-back times in as many games. And so even though we were sad, it's like it still makes sense because you're not healthy anymore. You keep getting these injuries. Calvin Megatron, I didn't see it coming because it was just like, I'm out. Like,
have you guys seen his fingers? Have you seen Megatron's fingers?
I saw Megatron went out because he was having back issues, and he had back issues ever since he was playing at Georgia Tech. So, yeah. So I mean,
I thought he was better. I guess he was just playing through all that.
And to your point, Kev,
he smoked marijuana throughout the while. I don't put that out there.
Andrew Luck took a lot of hits.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
I think when he retired, it was a surprise to a point, but it wasn't that much of a surprise because we all know he was getting his bell rung every 5 minutes, and he was out for concussion.
He was 28, 29 quarterback.
I know, but
these guys can't get touched nowadays.
I know we got a short time. I got one more. Patrick Willis in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, Patrick Willis. That was
7 seasons.
Yeah.
All pro, and I think in almost all of them. But I mean, he just people want to. A lot of times this matters more than anything. I mean, those guys.
I have one more. I'm gonna throw in there, and I'm not sure why he retired as early. BJ Raji. I don't know if you guys remember. He. Oh yeah. I mean, they was just coming off of. Yeah, for Green Bay. I mean, he was coming off a Super Bowl, and next thing you know, he disappeared for a family emergency and never came back.
I thought he had like a neck injury or something like that.
I don't know what it was. It was something crazy, but BJ Raji was what, 20? I don't know if he was 27 or something like that. He was young.
Well, y'all know Marshawn Lynch just hung up his cleats during somebody's Super Bowl, and they said he took the train up out of there and everything. Like, dude, but he had the stomach issue with the surgery and all this stuff. Marshawn was kind of out there, but he was just a regular guy, really, that made it big. He was a running back that took a lot of punishment.
It's Marshawn, though. Marshawn is just Marshawn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that dude is bigger than life. Man.
It was funny because when the Panthers went to the Super Bowl, we realized he wasn't going to be playing because we felt like then we could advance. Like, okay, Beast Mode's not playing, or he's playing coming back from that injury. We were like, okay, now we have a chance of winning. That was when we, of course, won an NFC. I want to kind of talk about, as we wrap up, you guys, the salary cap. We didn't talk about that on this show. NFL informed teams, the 2025 per team capital has now gone up from $255.4 million all the way up to $281.5 million. That is an increase of $53 million over the last 2 years. And is this going to be super helpful to each of your teams, or you guys salary cap so bad?
Yes.
It doesn't even matter.
Yes.
No,
it does help.
Yeah,
It does help.
I say that because, at the beginning of the show, one of our gentlemen here informed another gentleman that nothing was going to help them, including putting a U.S. tent in their backyard.
Damn,
I mean, okay, whatever. That's all
I just want to know, if it really, I know it'll help my team.
It's going to help everybody's team in the long run.
Everybody in the long run.
But
we're selling 10% of our team, and that's going to help us.
Let me ask you guys this. Does it help the Baltimore Ravens, who are on the cusp of whether or not they make this decision with Justin Tucker, who now has, 14, 16 women coming forward in a Deshaun Watson Part 2 situation? Hello, CJ DeSimone. What's good to you? Hope you're doing good tonight. Our other friend over there, Jets. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I mean, Justin Tucker, he's out of here. He's a kicker. Yeah, he's out of here. He's a kicker. He's washed. He's out of here.
There was an interesting conversation last Friday about this whole situation.
But do they wait to get past that 14.2 cap space, or do they release him now, or wait till after? Because either way, they're going to pay him.
It doesn't matter.
So they might as well keep him.
Have a big effect. Yeah, they're not. It's not going to affect them as much as we think it is. They like you said, it might like Brian.
It's a kicker, not a quarterback.
Yeah, he's a kicker. So he's good.
A kicker.
Regardless if he's one of the NFL's best kickers, not last year.
Well, he wasn't.
What I'm saying,
not last year.
The way he was smoking kicks last year.
But when he knew his problem was out there, so that's what's going on.
The only thing that's going to affect, the only thing that's going to affect is his Hall of Fame, really.
Yeah, it didn't feel like put it out till later. Nobody knew about this stuff till like the postseason kind of. We were like, oh, that's why he was missing all those, kicks, because he's too busy kicking off and then masseuses behind. So,
Somebody suggested he should go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
I said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
They'll embrace it. They're used to dealing with the media coverage on this sort of thing.
Kicking off in those boots suits is fine.
Him and Deshaun, they can go to the masseuse, What's up, bro? I know a couple chicks over here.
Yeah, exactly. Go to Deshaun Watson.
Every day, because, they say on FaceTime, you can't track nothing. So Deshaun is FaceTiming him every day. CJ says Justin Tucker's career is done, especially after all the allegations against him. Yeah, I kind of was of the mindset to let due process play out, but I think at this point in the game and the league, like, the Ravens are on a whole different prestigious, level. Like CJ said, there's zero chance. This is not Cleveland. So basically, yeah. Let me go ahead and give you guys some closing information, which is really shocking that I found out today. Starting in 2025, no NFL games will be exclusively broadcast on regular TV. Everything you're going to have to pay for. This is supposedly, let me check this. Yeah, this came out today, and we're looking to see, something about the market is changing. CBS is now, of course, part of Paramount. That means
wow.
ESPN is part of your local, I guess, what is it, ABC News affiliate. Got a stream on ESPN. And I don't know, guys. I kind of want to wrap us up with just the greed of the NFL. I mean, you're talking about increasing salary caps, but now everywhere you watch a game, you must stream it. Like you have to have 5 and 6 streaming services. I mean, at least me personally, or go get you a broken Fire Stick to be able to watch these games. I mean, what are y'all's thoughts on that? Kevin, I'll start with you because I feel like you've been researching Falcons news this whole night and they can't come up with nothing.
Damn, that's messed up.
Looking over to the side, and so
too, bro.
That's messed up.
I see where this hateration is coming from. You got your little win at the end of the season, so I know you're a little hyped.
No. Let me hold on. Let me give a shout out to Bijan Robinson. Let me give a shout out to Bijan Robinson. Bijan, and I checked this. Actually, they had posted something about the win, and I was like, yeah, we handled ourselves. And Bijan actually liked the comment. So thank you, Bijan. I like Bijan as a player. He's one of my favorite players. The theme song that was played over and over on this channel before YouTube kept flagging it. Everybody knows I had him and Bryce hugging each other, or actually face to face in their first matchup. So I'm a Bijan fan. And so yeah, but notice how Kevin the whole time it's like it's never any direct eye contact with the screen. It's always this.
Yeah.
The whole show, because he's trying to find something.
Now,
Damn.
looking up a few things and stuff like that. Looking up the cap space, looking up, what's going on, with my team, players that we looking at, because like he said, Will Johnson, that's a guy who they talking about the Falcons may mess around and drag.
Oh,
I'm paying attention, but I'm also, keeping my eyes close to, what the Falcons is gonna do at all times.
Yeah, you gotta watch the team. Gotta watch the team. By the way, Nolan Smith had surgery on today, guys. The Eagles champ. He's expected to be back for 2025 season, but he just had tricep surgery that came out today. Offensive linebacker, Rams director of college scouting, James Gladstone is tabbed as the new Jaguars general manager. Cardinals intend to be active in the free agency and build around Kyler Murray. That's going to be important. And the Bills running back, James Cook, is sticking with his extension request and basically requesting money. We talked about the Saints hiring the ex-Chargers head coach, Brandon Staley, and the Panthers have released cornerback Dane Jackson, and the Bengals have cut defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins. That's today's big news that came out. Let's talk a little bit about what we were kind of spearheading here before I plugged in that breaking news and saw that Kevin was researching. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, the NFL has to evolve. And they nobody's watching regular TV anymore, right? Everything is going to stream.
True.
I mean, yes, it is.
J-Train got
nobody's watching. Nobody's watching regular TV.
No, when I say nobody's watching regular TV, I'm saying on the NFL. People are definitely watching the NFL on the regular TV. Everybody doesn't have.
People now are starting to stream because they're forcing. And when I say this, J-Train, I'm saying that you're looking at the NFL as one aspect. When you talk about just regular entertainment, everybody is streaming. The NFL has to get in on that or they're going to fall behind. So instead of waiting, they have to jump on it. So let's stream now, start streaming now, get in on that aspect of the business and allow, that to evolve. That's just what it is. Things change. And you have to evolve or you're going to die.
Of regular TV. Those are one of the things that people. I mean, if we're all turning over to streaming, you're losing CBS, NBC, Fox. All those channels are main. I mean, there's mainstays on those channels. You're not going to get rid of them. I'm sorry. There's too many things that come on regular.
You're going to start streaming those channels as well too. I mean, I turn on my smart TV more than I turn on my cable box. Really, be honest.
Look at the Netflix. How that beat the NBA on Christmas. Look at the Prime Video. The now they, like Sonja said, they're going to Paramount Plus. I got Paramount Plus, and Paramount Plus.
Me too.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, I love Paramount. Yep.
I love Paramount.
I got it for my soap operas. So
yeah,
I'm a Trekkie. I like it from a Star Trek.
So it's like I don't blame the NFL. And then they went to YouTube TV for the NFL ticket. We used to have
and they got
TV.
sued because it was so expensive.
It's so expensive. I wish it was still on DirecTV. But it's not, they started. You got to stream it on YouTube. You got to stream it on YouTube TV. So that's what I'm saying. They're going towards the streaming thing, and the more money is in that market right now.
It's not only that. I was looking real quick, and Brian, I'll get to you in 1 second. We facts over here, so I was looking like, is there any legitimacy to that? And NBC Sports, because that's a credible source, has released the pivot to streaming of NFL games includes ensuring that all NFL games will stream. As explained by Tyler Aquilina of Variety.com via Sports Business Daily, no NFL games will be exclusively available on streaming in 2025, which means all games will be available through streaming. So they meant to say no games will be on regular TV, which means all games will now be only available through streaming. And they're saying that basically, otherwise, I guess it shouldn't be on quote unquote free TV.
At some point, you're gonna have to stream the Super Bowl. Watch.
You are.
Yeah.
That's what it is. J-Train.
You know what I mean? At some point,
Throw your cable box away, J Train. Stop being cheap, man. Just get the stream.
He got antennas. He got regular.
Yeah, he got his antenna
with aluminum foil on them. So
yeah, throw it away, J Train.
Rabbit ears.
Upgrade, brother.
No, I don't have.
I know you got it. I know you got it. Upgrade, brother.
Oh, I don't have that, man.
Yes, you do. He got all. J Train got all his money under his mattress. He got probably a couple $1 million under his mattress.
Sure.
Can't watch that same.
Leave J Train alone, man. He's old school. I'm with him on that.
My point in saying about technology is really I hate to say the downfall of society. It's just really going in a direction that really. I mean, yes, obviously I agree with what you're saying about everybody has to go in a certain way. But this changes everything. If that's
not only that, like we
see the world,
not in a good way.
The human contact is just gone from everything. Even when you go to the stores, you don't see, like, it's just different. And it's like funny to me because I was in Walmart the other day at the self checkout, but they have one person there to man it. And I was like, is this station open? The girl barely said anything. So I was like, oh wow, they don't even speak or nothing now. Like, I used to work at Walmart. Like, why are you here? Everything is gone. So we see this the same way. If we're allowing, and this is just my opinion, if we're allowing AI to run everything, what standard do we use to have everything accountable? Because AI is not foolproof. It is not.
We're not thinking for ourselves anymore. Everything is
allowing AI to do anything. I'm just not the 1% that controls that.
Yeah, you don't control it. No, you just gotta find a way around it.
It's the same thing with the streaming. I mean, you're forced to do that. And to J Train's point, I mean, we're old school. I like watching, on regular TV too, and I think that should be fair. Now I definitely don't want to pay when you go to the stadium, it costs a lot of money to get seats. So what you're forcing people to be paying money no matter what just to watch.
It's bigger than the NFL. My point is, I'm not saying it's not going to do that. I agree that they're going to do it, but I'm saying it's bigger. Like you just said, forced. Your hand is being forced in a certain direction. Everybody's being forced. There's no free will anymore.
CJ said it's probably. CJ makes a good point. He said it's going to be the end of TV as we know it, and basically the games will probably start to be broadcasting on radio again, like old school, like for real people that can't afford to do this. Because even though the cost of living and all this stuff is going up, we're not going to be able to, do this. And I remember listening to games on the internet, like the Panthers games that they would not play in Atlanta, even though you have YouTube TV, because they would say it's blacked out. It's a blacklist. And I'm like, how? Like, I'm paying this money and you're still not playing my game.
We were forced to do a lot of things. You were forced to use DVDs after using VHSs. Yeah. You were forced to, go to MP3s from CD players. We were forced to get on the internet through dial-up and, but we were forced to do a lot of things. This is just another change that's going to happen.
It's different this time.
It's what it is.
We're all sheep.
It's different this time.
We don't have a choice.
We're talking about the middle class not being weaned out. I'm not talking about just being forced. This is a whole nother element of being forced. This is different. Mm-hmm. It's different than that. Yeah. And when the cost of things, it's just unaffordable. And so when you think it's going to be cheap, you think it really is going to be cheap
Well, think about your cable bill, what you were paying on that.
Are the middle class and poor. It's not the elite. The majority of fans are the people who are
working individuals.
God, this is their lives, what they enjoy. You're taking away from that. Those people who can sit at home and watch for free after they've worked a 9-to-5 job.
It was never for free, J Train. When we had to go to cable, right? You don't think somebody's paying that cable bill?
I'm saying there's games that come on regular TV that aren't on cable. Once you move them all, you will take a lot of fans away. I'm telling you, everybody's not going to move to streaming. Everybody's not. It might be like saying yes, but there are a lot of people out there. There are a lot of fans that aren't going to do that. They're not.
Kevin, what are your thoughts, Kevin?
I say there are a lot of old school fans that are probably going to still continue to try to stream it. You know what I mean? Not stream it, but watching on regular TV and stuff like Channel 5, Channel
until they can't
12. Even on NBC, But
think about the small portion of those fans, though. I mean, think about it.
It's small.
It's very small. There is nobody that I know, and I'm not saying I know a lot of people. There is really nobody that has a smart TV, a flat screen smart TV, which we all have, that is watching regular TV.
That's hard to really gauge that unless
there's nobody with a box TV and an antenna sticking out of it anymore.
Unless you did a poll, it's hard to really gauge that.
So let's take a poll of everybody here tonight. Who are
That's here. This is too anecdotal. It's too anecdotal. You would have to do a full United States or international.
That's and I can guarantee you that everybody involved in their watching.
You can't guarantee that.
I guarantee you that.
You can't guarantee that.
And so Jay Train, you don't stream at all?
I do stream.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
I do.
He does. Of course he does.
So
but I'm saying I don't stream football games. I don't stream. I mean, I don't have any. Only thing I stream is the NFL Plus for NFL. That's it. Okay. The NFL Network Plus. That's it.
Okay, so for me, I can't even tell y'all how many streaming services I have. It's almost like by the time you get all these streaming services, you may as well have paid for cable. I know I got freaking Disney, Max, Paramount, Peacock, Hulu. I mean, that's just 5 right there. And if they're like $10 a month, and then Netflix, Amazon Prime, like that's $70 right there. Just say they're $10 flat. A couple of those are included with my T-Mobile. Then you got Apple TV.
Let me tell you.
You got to get the pick. Different streaming services because one game is over here and then one game is over here. And if you got to get the NFL download package to get over here. But what gets me is, like I said, you pay for all these and you can't get your team. Like, they're not going to play North Carolina. They're not going to play the Panthers at all because we are in the same division. They only play the Saints if the Falcons aren't playing, and they just want to basically see if the Saints are going to win or lose. They don't play the Panthers at all, period. The Giants, y'all will be on here. Detroit, you guys are going to be on here, even if you were winning or losing. But when you're in the same division, they're not going to put you on there like that. So guess what? You're paying all that money for streaming, and your only resort is to what? Go get you somebody to get you some programming, and get you a Fire Stick. That's what.
Well, I mean, that's part of YouTube's. That was part of YouTube's. That was part of the case against the NFL too, about you have these packages, but yet you can't get your own game in your own market. Yeah, and that was pissing people off. So you're going to tell them to pay all this money and you can't even watch your own games in your own market. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Think about what we're doing right now. What are we doing? We're streaming and we're live, and it's something that we were not able to do 10, 15 years ago. So yes, we are all evolving and adapting.
All right. So shout out to Robert. He says, I have an 85-inch digital Samsung. Child, I don't even got that. I don't even think from the floor to the ceiling is 85 inches in my house. He said I have a 20 digital antenna hooked on it for free TV. Okay, I got a digital one too. I watch my Hawks games on free TV. That's Seahawks, not.
That's what people are going to do.
And I have all the streamers as well, but I still watch free TV.
Good luck to you, Robert.
I mean, I'm Robert because I do the same thing.
You have a lot of people out there doing that. I guarantee you. Nobody wants to pay for this.
Guess what? Let's see how many people are going to pay to watch the games now, J Train. It is what it is.
I'm not saying, I didn't say it wasn't going to happen. I'm just telling you, a lot of people are going to resort to what Robert's doing.
Hold on. Let's go back to Robert. You got an 85-inch Samsung TV with an antenna on it?
Right.
That's crazy work.
That's crazy work.
It seemed like the streets people.
That's crazy work.
What's wrong with that?
Robert, how old are you, Robert?
I don't know if Robert is telling the truth, man.
What age bracket are you in, Robert?
He's like 90. Come on, Robert. Come on, be honest.
That's the TV. The TV is
Sonja, this is what I do. I think I told you this before. This is what I do with streaming. When I want to watch something, a binge, a show that I want to watch, I rent it for the month. I'll watch whatever I want to watch and stop paying it. I don't like
Robert's younger than us. He said he's 48.
Wow. Robert be on there with a suit and everything. Is that Rob? That's not Robert.
No, not Robert Butler.
Not Robert Butler. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Okay, tell us what you do, J Train, with your streaming.
I just like with Netflix. We had Netflix for a long time, but if I want to watch something, I don't want to pay continuous residual stuff when I'm not watching it all the time. I'll just, if I figure like one of my shows that they have on, like The Walking Dead when it was on, or some other great show that's on there, I'll go ahead and rent for that season, for that month, and pay that $15.99 or whatever, and watch whatever it is I want to watch on it, and then be done with it.
I've done that free trial. I'm like, let me binge watch.
So what is that called, J Train? That's called a choice. You have freedom
of course.
and
I
choose.
say anybody what
you want to watch.
Yeah. But you say I guarantee, and everybody's going
Guarantee.
Wow.
But is it really a choice, though? I mean, if you have to purchase something to watch streaming, is that a choice?
It's not.
It's not like
I'll be honest
you can you can watch it on regular TV.
You're not gonna. So let me ask you guys a question. On regular TV, Brian, let's think about it. If we had to depend on regular TV, you're a Lions fan, I'm a Giants fan, a Saints fan, a Falcon fan, and a Panthers fan.
Damn.
Who's gonna get Channel 5? The Falcons here in Atlanta.
Yes.
Who's gonna get CBS? It's gonna be either an AFC North team or the hottest team on the market, or the Rams, or whoever. So at that point, instead of me having to go out to a bar and watch my game, I can choose to pay for a streaming service, and I can watch my Lions, I can watch my Giants, I can watch my pitiful Saints, and I can do whatever I want.
Oh wow!
And I have a choice to do it. That's called a choice, J Train.
Yes, Mr. Dead Giants with your halo.
Let it shine, brother.
Okay. This is a good point.
But nobody's really saying nobody's really saying the thing, though. You know, what? It's because of the devil, right? It's because
Brian is entering. Welcome to the team, Brian. You and what's the guy that has
Roger Goodell is the devil.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
He would steal the White House like Trump did. I'm telling you that right now. If he were the president.
I'm still stuck on this guy with a Samsung digital TV. Give me his number with an antenna stuck on it.
Let me see if he made another comment. Hang on.
It's like a Bentley with mud flaps.
Yeah, that's like drinking milk with Chinese food.
FYI, games are on regular TV are also more real time. I'm usually 30
They are. They absolutely are.
That is true.
You can't. Yes, we always talk about Sonja be like 20 seconds behind.
Yes.
30 seconds behind.
When me, Mac, and J Train were covering the Super Bowl, I had to mute them. We were on live for the first half. I almost was like, and I could tell by their faces something was happening. I ended up having to mute my laptop, so I couldn't even hear what they were saying because I kept pausing and trying to fast forward it. I could never catch up. So you're right. So what do we do when all the games are going to be
don't worry about it. You're not going to have to worry about it because everything's going to be streamed.
Oh,
so
yeah,
bye-bye to live TV. Don't worry about it. It's gone. It's going bye-bye.
And even streaming services, everything is off. So you could actually be watching two different streaming services, and one streaming service could be ahead of another one. And then if you're watching it like on what we're streaming right now, you could be a delay. You know what I'm saying? So it's a delay. Technology together.
We'll be good to go.
It's a delay with this show because this show streams to Roku and YouTube. And just right now, I'm watching it on FaceTime, and it's like a few seconds delay, and we're live right here. But but there's a natural pause anyway because they give time for small edits in case somebody says something they're not supposed to say. That's how it works in network. You're not going to have that in streaming, so I guess we're going to be getting a lot of F-bombs and stuff like that. Real live. I mean,
good.
You're gonna definitely hear him a lot.
He said good. I mean, talk about that Mike Tyson fight. That was one of the worst streams I've ever seen in my life.
You're talking about when he bit somebody's ear off, or the recent one?
No, Netflix.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson on Netflix.
That's
not a listen. I'm a big Tyson fan, but that's not a we're
not wanting to watch. If you watch it and it happened, I'm just telling you what the service was. It was bad. It was bad.
It'll get better.
Bad.
It was
bad, but it'll get better.
Guys,
Facebook is blowing up on that one.
We'll see.
Hopefully, that could be resolved. But I just told you guys it is on NBC Sports. So, where there's smoke, there's fire. And NBC Sports is kind of like, narrating from the standpoint of Adam Schefter, who basically, once he says it, it's already gospel. And so we just got to brace ourselves and, prepare our coins or what have you for streaming service. And who's to know? They may actually make some streaming services either cheaper or absolutely free. We never know. So
you hear what you're saying, sis? Prepare our coins. This is like I'm not shots and a shot at you. I'm just saying, like, what we have to do in order to move forward. Prepare
Yes.
your coins to go in a direction that's not even the most important thing in life. This is what I'm talking about, man. Look, I love football. One of the greatest things in the world. I love the everything about it. It's just the politics about it is bad. Along with everything else, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. I mean, but
I
we,
agree
like
100.
you said, Roger Goodell and his infancy as commissioner or whatever, owner, whatever he is. I mean, there's a reason why he's booed, at the draft. There's a reason why. These
Got that
people
guy.
literally have the U.S. Mint in their backyards. Anytime you can elevate the cap space with this is like stupid money. You hear people talk about stupid money. I can't even mentally think of what $53 million looks like. Needless to say, $281 million, which is the overall now and the $53 million increase. And it's just a very lucrative business that you're just like, how do you have that much money in this one single sport? And you have people over here struggling to try to stream and watch you and celebrate you. And these athletes and owners don't even know that we as fans are alive.
And to say that all of that, there's no more Pro Bowl. There is flag football.
Good.
You're becoming more expensive and not a great product. I'm not saying the product. I mean, I hate to even veer over into basketball, but the money that you make, guaranteed money, and you see what's being put on the floor. How does that work?
Nobody wants to play. No, players don't want to play in the Pro Bowl no more. They're not going to hit. Yeah. They're not going to make it competitive. That's just what it is. I don't think that has anything to do with Goodell. I think that's just players not wanting to put their body at risk to play a game that means nothing. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to go and put an American flag on my backpack and go live in the woods, right? It's just that's the world we live in. We have to evolve. Things are going to change. We just have to become to where we know how to handle it. It's just the way of the world. I'm sorry.
So Robert talks about something really important. He said they experienced that with baseball. The Mariners games were only available locally on cable. Then they lost them free TV years ago. And though he doesn't have cable, it's not worth it. So this is what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to start putting the teams that are so bad that nobody's really watching to make us pay for them. We already saw the Panthers got no primetime games last season. That's the first time I think that the Panthers were not on any platform. And let's be clear, even though we played better, we did not win like we should have. So what happens? You're going to start charging Panthers fans to watch the games because they're so bad you're not going to put them on regular TV? No, you're putting everybody off, including buzzards.
Making me laugh. People want to watch the Falcons.
Since you want to look like
Great point, Sonja. Great point. Great point. If you're one of the worst teams in the world, and you're a diehard fan, and you got to be paid. You got to pay to watch bad all year. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Well, then don't pay.
They're gonna lose fans.
Put a better product.
I agree. You're gonna lose people.
Maybe that's why the Lions did what they did with creating their whole front office. Maybe they saw this vision coming. They said
they saw it.
I'm not going to have my fans paying for some bad football teams. We've already done 60 years of that.
So you should be happy, Brian, because the Lions saw it coming, and now they're a good team. Now it's okay for you to pay $5 or $6 to watch the game. It's good now.
Like
gaslighting, man.
Markup on seat ticket prices too at the stadium. So
it's definitely something to keep our eyes on, guys. This has been absolutely amazing. We're at the almost 1.5 hour mark. Thank you everybody for the likes, love. Brian, thank you for joining us as an honorary guest tonight. Know that you are definitely welcome as the extended Friday with the fellas. J-Train, A-Train, and Kevin. Kevin, thank you for making us a part of your night tonight. We know you're very busy. A-Train, we know you always a busy. J-Train, thanks for being a stand-up. As always, stand up right hand to the side. Thanks everybody for the comments, likes, loves, and shares. This is Friday with the Fellas, presented by Prim and Proper Sports, and I'm your host, Sonja Pearson. This will re-air at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Northeast Professional Sports, and tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the Huddle Sports Network. With that, we all bid you all a very good night, and we will see you on Sunday morning, J-Train and myself on the Sunday morning big show. All right, good night, everybody. Great weekend to you.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.